Okay, so let me share with you exactly how to run the Zoom application on the webinar format so you can all be in a position to run your own webinars weekly. Okay, so let me share my screen so you can see what I'm going to be sharing with you here. Okay, so first thing I want to do is usually I start with the my PowerPoint. I just make sure this is running. I just had this one running from today. I'm just going to stop it here. Okay, so you basically run your PowerPoint. Okay, and what you do is you could actually select this over here, which is Reading View, or you can select Slideshow. But whatever works is fine. Either one, it'll be fine. Okay, and then when you go to Reading View, you basically have your screen over here. And when you happen to have a Mac, so this is how you go full screen, but you want to make it full screen, right? You don't want to see bars or things like this. Now, because depending on if you have two screen or one, if you have one screen, then you may have to reduce this for a minute. Okay. So maybe bring it down a little bit here so you can do some things on the background so you can see what you're doing because you only have one screen. So I'm going to assume that you have one screen. If you had two screens, then you can put a lot of functionality on the other screen and focus only one screen on what the user will actually see. So let's assume that you only have one screen. Okay, so you have that the PowerPoint running here. The next thing is you want to run your webinar. So you want to click on Zoom. Okay, I'm looking here because that's where my second screen happens to be. Okay, so as soon as it comes back, just bear with me here. Okay, so then you want to sign in. Okay. Now, I do recommend you install Zoom on your computer. Don't go on zoom.us. I'm not going to go there, okay, because everybody can actually install the program on your computer. Once it's installed, you'll have an icon, either a Mac or a PC. The way you usually run programs, it's the same way. It'll be installed. When you run it, then at this point, you're going to log in as me. So you're going to put active team at me.com. And then you put your password. Okay, I didn't say it out loud because I don't know where this video is going to go. Okay, so now I'm logging into my account. Okay, and this is what's important over here. Okay, and I think that's where everybody gets confused, or some of you gets confused, is you want to make sure that this icon is highlighted. By default, you're most likely going to see that. Okay, but this is the icon you want to highlight. Why? Because that's where, and I think that's where some of you are getting confused. You're getting confused with everything that's over here. You want to select what says reoccurring. At the bottom, it says Global Impact Series. You click on that. That's the webinar. And then you click Start. That's it. Okay. Now the webinar will start. Okay. I don't really need this anymore, so I'm just going to bring this down. It goes full screen by default. Okay. If you're confused with that, just for now, just if you go back down so it's not full screen so you can see what's happening, that might be helpful for you. Okay. And like I said, we don't need that. We'll just put that at the bottom right now. And one of the things that you want to do is you can change the name here. Okay. So for example, if you click on participant, okay, and you see on the more, you can rename. And let's say, I don't know, let's say Tammy is doing the presentation. Okay. She just puts her name there. Okay. When you click rename, then that's the name that will be over here. Okay. It may be less awkward for your guests. Now, from there, when you start the webinar, okay, you click on Start, okay? What happens here is it starts recording right away. I suggest you pause it. Why? Because you're just recording. If you're there half an hour before or an hour before, it's going to record an hour of nothing, right? So you want to pause it. That's one thing that's important. And the other thing that you want to do is you want to share your screen. Which screen are you going to share? Well, the one, if you only have one screen, it's pretty straightforward. But if you have multiple screen, you have to share the right screen. So let's assume that you have one screen. You click share. Okay, because I have three screens. Oh, which screen do you want? Well, it happens to be screen number 3. Okay, you're sharing that screen. And why? Well, simply because that's where your PowerPoint is, right over here. Okay, you're very close to be ready to operate right now. Okay, so what's going to happen is you will see, okay, your function, okay, it'll appear like that. For me, it's because I have multiple screens and things are spread out on all three screens, right? It just remembers where I left things before. But in your case, if you have one screen, that's how this works. If you have two screen, again, you have the option of splitting the things in different screen. What it's saying over here says, oh, by the way, you're still muted. Yeah, I'm okay. I'm not ready to record right now. So you can just click stay muted, no problem. Now, what's happening from here is you are ready. You see the green around here? That's basically states that that's the screen that's being shared. Right now, all the viewers are seeing that. Okay? So if you're there before the presentation, not right on time, because now you may have people waiting in the room and they're seeing you do all of these things, which is unprofessional. So you may want to do that prior. And then from there, you want to go full screen. Okay? And when you go full screen, now you're ready. Okay? That's all there is to it. Now, if you have one screen and you want to see your participants, what you may want to do is you can share your participants are not going to see this. So you can see the chats, whatever people may be seeing as you're presenting. And because you're coming in as a host by default, if you're chatting, only the hosts are going to see things. You may want to change that to everyone. If you've been following the Eric Worre things, and you probably noticed that sometimes it says host and panelist, and you just select everyone. So that way, whenever you post, everybody's going to see what you're posting and not just the panelist. Okay. Usually what I do is the attendees will be over here, the panelist over here. If, for example, there was I don't have an example right now, but if I would someone here that's supposed to be a presenter, what I would do is I would just simply right click on that person or click on more. Obviously, I don't have the feature because I'm already a panelist here. And you'll notice it says make panelists. You would select that when they happen to be over here. Then the presenter needs to agree on their end, and it'll show up as a panelist. Okay, you don't really need to worry about that. I'm just letting you know that's what happens behind the scene. And that's it. You're ready to present. Okay? From that point on, just remember to unmute yourself. And of course, make sure that people can see your video. And again, if you have one screen, you may have your video over here. Okay, everything is actually here. And if you have your script, then I suggest that you have your script on, on a device like this, right? An iPad or your piece of paper somewhere, so you can read your script if you need your script. And that's all there is to it. Okay, I'm not going to share music because if you're in a position to show music and everything else, you probably know all of this stuff already. But if you're very new and you're green and you have no idea what to do, what I just shared with you is all you need to do. Okay, at this point, the viewers are seeing that. You can see the attendees over here. Usually that's why I leave it on, and I see what the attendees who are showing up over here. And then I start presenting. And then you just go slide by slide and back and forth, whatever you choose to do here. Okay. And that's all there is to it. That's all there is to it. Okay. When you're done your presentation, the last thing I didn't mention is if you want to do a Facebook Live, okay. And the other thing too, let me go back a little bit, is you want to resume your recording. Okay. So you want to resume your recording. So now it's being recorded. It's a little blinking red button. That means it's recording. And if you want to do a Facebook Live, you have to select Facebook Live. Now, when you do that, and then some of you, I think, are getting confused, it's because it's actually bringing a screen that you need to attend to. And I think that's where some of you are getting confused. Okay. Now, because let's say I have one screen over here, let me just remove these things for now. Okay. I'm going to bring this down. Just 1 minute here. I'm going to bring this down. Okay. So I can reduce, so I can see what's happening here. Okay. And I'm going to bring that screen because, again, I have multiple screens. So I'm going to bring it to that one screen you're working on. And this, when you do your Facebook Live, this is what Facebook is asking you to do. And I think some of you don't see that. Maybe it ends up behind whatever screen you're working on and you're not finding it. You need to find it because that's the screen that tells Facebook where you want to go live. So from there, you would select your timeline. I usually select the active team page. In your case, you don't have access to that. So you go to your own groups or your own page or your own timeline. Okay. And by default, you see public and you just go live. That's it. And then you'll have a little icon that show here that you're live on Facebook. Okay, for now, I'm not going to do that, so otherwise it confuses people. Okay, So I'm just going to get rid of this for now. But once that's all it is. Once you click go live, it's gone. You can get rid of this. Okay. You go back again, make this full screen. Okay. And now again, you are ready to present. So if I start from the first slide, it's over here. Okay. So I didn't show you the bells and whistles where you have the flyer of the presenters, because again, if you're brand new at this, I want to keep that very raw, very simple for you to be able to present, because that's what really matters. Once you're done your presentation, you don't really need to do anything else. You don't have to stop. And all you need to do is click on the three buttons here. It says end meeting. You click on end meeting, end for all, and Zoom stops, live stops, the recording stops, everything stops. That's it. That's all. And it's ready to go. You're done. Okay. So that's really all you need to be aware of. And really, I think what's important is to keep things very, very simple and practice. So I'm going to share this video with you. And I suggest that you don't wait 5 minutes before your webinar to look at this video to learn what to do. I suggest you do that maybe a week before or a couple days before, or at least before, so you're ready for your presentation. Okay, so I hope this helps. And I'll post that in a YouTube channel, and I'll share the link in the group. Bye for now.